Ever wonder why a certain person keeps coming up in your mind? It's almost like they were meant to be there. Carl Jung thought this event might not be a coincidence, but could have deep spiritual meaning. It might be a message from the universe telling you to start a journey to find out more about yourself. Even though these thoughts can be very intense and take over your life, they are actually calling your attention to parts of yourself that are waiting to be shown. Jung suggested that these kinds of feelings come from the unconscious mind, and that we should look into the connection we feel with this person, whether it's real or in our minds. These connections or feelings are like mirrors that show us hidden parts of our minds and give us chances to grow, heal, and understand. Jung's insights can help you figure out what these thoughts are trying to say. Through his ideas of projection, we can see how we give other people qualities that we don't even know we have. Our inner feminine and masculine energies affect how we connect with others through the anima and animus. Platonic love and idealization are examples of how we project our hopes and dreams onto other people, and synchronicity is a reminder of the meaningful connections between our inner and outer worlds. Each idea gives us a way to think about why someone might be so strong in our minds. Thoughts that keep coming back to you are not distractions. They are spiritual messages that tell you to look inside yourself, discover more about who you are, and accept the path to wholeness and authentic self-realization. One of the main ideas in Jungian psychology that helps us understand why we can't stop thinking about someone is called projections. It's suggested that when we meet someone, our minds often project our inner qualities onto them, whether we are aware of them or not. When someone really interests us, it might not be about who they are, but what they show us about ourselves on a deeper level. Think about the times when someone's presence holds your attention. That's what interests me so much about them. It's not always just what they look like. It's often a reflection of something inside you, like an unspoken desire, a dormant strength, or an unresolved part of who you are. In this way of thinking, the other person is like a symbolic mirror that shows you the parts of your soul that need to be noticed and brought together. For instance, if you like someone's confidence and easy charm, you might feel like they have qualities you want, but don't have. Jung said that this person is like a mirror, showing you parts of yourself that are waiting to be recognized and cared for. These qualities that people admire aren't just outside of you. They're actually your own hidden potential waiting to be claimed. Positive projection helps you see other people as guides who can help you reach untapped parts of yourself instead of just as an obsession or a crush. These kinds of persistent thoughts can be a spiritual tool. They invite you to dig deeper into your mind, find hidden dimensions, and start a life-changing journey of self-realization. Individuals who interest you are frequently the ones who push you to grow by reminding you of the real you. We don't always see the best parts of ourselves when we project. It can show us the uncomfortable, hidden parts of our minds, which Jung called the shadow. This is the part of ourselves that we try to hide or deny because it doesn't fit with how we want to see ourselves. If someone bothers, offends, or even turns us off, it could mean that they are showing us parts of our shadow. Jung called this negative projection, which is when we take the traits we don't like about ourselves and put them on other people. Imagine that you keep running into someone whose behavior bothers you. Maybe their haughtiness, impulsivity, or lack of empathy gets to you. It is simple to think that the problem is only with them, but Jungian psychology tells us to look inside ourselves. If we have strong reactions to this person, it could mean that they reflect parts of us that we've pushed down or denied. By naming these hidden traits, we can start to heal and integrate our shadow, turning it from something that makes us feel bad into something that helps us learn more about ourselves and grow as people. Jung's idea of the anima and animus is another deep way to look at unresolved thoughts about other people. The female part of men, anima, and the male part of women, animus, are represented by these archetypes. Jung said that everyone has these opposite gender traits in their unconscious, which affect how they see the world and connect with other people. People who have traits that match our inner anima or animus are often the ones with whom we feel a strong resonance. Because it wakes up parts of our minds that have been sleeping, this connection can feel overwhelming. Men's anima includes sensitive emotions, intuition, and creativity. These are nurturing feminine traits that may not have been fully developed. If a man meets a woman, or even just an idea of a woman who has these qualities, he might feel an almost magical attraction to her. It's like she has the key to a part of his soul that has been dying to be expressed. Similarly, for women, the animus represents the logic, strength, and assertiveness that are associated with men. If a woman meets someone with these traits, she may feel very drawn to them because they bring out parts of her that she hasn't claimed yet. When we meet the anima or animus, it can feel like we've found our soulmate or a missing part of ourselves. But in reality, they are just invitations to connect with and integrate these archetypal energies into our own being, which leads to wholeness and self-realization. Both the shadow and the anima, animus, show us how our relationships and thoughts about other people are deeply connected to our own inner world, whether those connections are good or bad. These connections teach us a lot about spirituality and help us become more self-aware, balanced, and integrated. Jung warned that our strong feelings about someone are often projections of our inner anima or animus, and not a true reflection of that person. The anima, or inner woman in men, stands for qualities like sensitivity, intuition, and creativity. For women, the animus, or masculine side, represents traits like strength, decisiveness, and logic, which balance out emotional and intuitive tendencies. When a woman meets a man who conveys confidence, intellectual depth, or decisiveness, she may feel drawn to him like a magnet, as if he represents something she needs very much. Nevertheless, women project their animus onto men, seeing in them the traits they want to develop in themselves, just as men do the same with women. Jung stressed that integration is the key to getting past this dynamic. We get closer to inner balance and harmony when we become aware of and work on these qualities. This process helps us take back the energy we give to other people without realizing it and use it to heal ourselves. The anima or animus that makes us want to be with someone isn't just a romantic urge. It's also a spiritual call to find and accept these neglected parts of our own minds. We are told to find wholeness within ourselves instead of looking for it in other people. Another part of our fixation on someone is when we love and idealize them as a friend. Jung said that friendship is a deeply spiritual bond that goes beyond physical attraction to have a deeper, more symbolic meaning. When this happens, the other person becomes a way for us to express our highest hopes, dreams, and ideals. They are placed on a pedestal as if they represent something divine, like the qualities and potential we all have inside us. This idea of the perfect person can be both motivating and limiting. In one way, it gives us a goal to work toward, which inspires us to become our best selves. In contrast, it can make us lose touch with reality because we might project our fantasies onto the other person and see them not as they really are, but as we want them to be. The risk is that we will be let down when the person shows their true self and doesn't live up to the ideal image we made of them. This disappointment often serves as a wake-up call that the qualities we admired were not really theirs, but rather reflections of our own unrealized potential. Both the anima-animus relationship and the idea of idealized friendship show how important other people are on our path to self-realization. Whether they come from projecting or idealizing, these strong emotions show us what's going on inside. They show us the way to the deepest parts of our own minds and help us find the hidden qualities and desires that will make us whole. In this way, our relationships and feelings for other people become holy teachers who teach us not to grow by clinging to other people, but by looking inside ourselves to find balance, wholeness, and peace. Jung talked about how realizing when we idealize others can change us. This recognition doesn't mean lessening the worth of the people we look up to. It means taking back the values they stand for. By bringing these traits into our own lives, we stop expecting others to be perfect and start showing the traits we want to see in others. This change helps us become more spiritually mature and self-reliant, so we can follow our dreams without losing touch with the truth of those around us. Synchronicity is one of Jung's more mysterious ideas that has a lot to do with how we think about other people. In this case, meaningful coincidences mean that two events seem too connected to be random. Have you ever thought about someone and then quickly ran into them or got a message from them? Jung suggested that these kinds of events are not just accidents, but rather signs of a hidden order in which our inner world and the outside world are connected. The idea of synchronicity is that the universe is not a collection of separate events, but rather a web of experiences that are linked to each other and connect the inner and outer worlds. It may not seem like much, but these small moments are very important because they remind us that we are connected to everything around us. These events make us stop, think, and consider what they mean when they happen. They may be telling us that we are on the right path in life, or that we need to pay more attention to the energies that are shaping our path. Jung saw synchronicity as a link between the psychological and the spiritual. It's a way to show how our feelings and thoughts affect the bigger picture of existence. If you pay attention to these coincidences, they can give you direction, new ideas, and a renewed sense of being part of something bigger. They help us remember that the people we think about, the things that happen to us, and the connections we make are all part of a bigger plan, a dance in the cosmos that helps us become whole. During these times, synchronicity acts as a spiritual teacher, telling us to trust life's flow and see how the universe reflects and desires us. By noticing these signs, we become more aware of how we are all connected and can find meaning in things that might seem random otherwise. Not only do these events show us where we fit in with God's plan, they also encourage us to live our lives with openness, curiosity, and trust in the journey we're on. Lastly, we come to the idea of individuation, which Jung saw as the most important thing in life. It is holy to bring together all of our parts, our conscious mind, our unconscious desires, our anima, our animus, our shadow, and our projections, into a whole that is real and whole. This journey changes us deeply and spiritually because it makes us face and accept all of who we are, the good and the bad. The people we can't stop thinking about often show us the way. They're like mirrors. There are qualities we need to face our weaknesses, strengths we have yet to develop, and challenges we need to overcome. These people, whether they inspire or provoke us, show us parts of ourselves we haven't seen before, pushing us to become more self-aware and grow. In this way, the person in your thoughts could be an important part of your individuation. They could be bringing to the surface traits or desires you've been denying, or they could be pushing you to explore parts of your identity you haven't fully accepted yet. Individuality isn't about trying to be a better person, it's about finding and being your truest, most authentic self, which includes both light and shadow. Looking at it this way, thinking about someone all the time is more than just an emotion. It turns into a spiritual journey where the person becomes a way to find out more about yourself. They are like a teacher who helps you find hidden truths, grow as a person, and learn to accept yourself more. By looking at these persistent thoughts through Jung's lens, you can start to see how they can help you change and reflect deeply. Every thought is an invitation to look deeper into yourself, bring together the pieces that make up your being, and get in touch with your higher self. By doing this, you open the door to spiritual fulfillment and find balance both inside yourself and with the rest of the universe.